Today we're sitting down with Mr. Stephen Beattie, and as I'm sure all of you are aware, he's managed to build 1 million dirhams in only 9 weeks. This is how he done it. 1 million.
This is where I need to be.
Consistency.
I don't know.
So, Stephen, thank you for joining me today.
No problem.
Elephant in the room, you've built 1 million dirhams in only 9 weeks this year. How did you do it?
Honestly, it's a domino effect. I stayed over Christmas. I got a list in Al-Barari. I was on with 3 agents. Reached out to the seller who I'd already have a previous relationship with. Got chatting. Ended up dropping an agent, and I sold it in 6 days. Done a viewing on it on Christmas Eve, the morning of Christmas Eve. Sold it a couple of days after. And then from then, it just triggered then another sale. I think I've done 6 or 7 separate transactions, which for me is the most important thing because it's not just one deal where you've lumped on and you can sit back and relax. I have 6 or 7 now, and again, relationship building, I can kind of bounce both the buyers and sellers now onto different things.
Yeah, no, of course. So, a little bit of history. You was at a great company before. Some would say you'd have one of the best seats in the business. The guy that runs that particular team is an absolute legend. In person, in the real estate market, you've obviously can learn a lot from him. But you didn't bill that great there. I hope you don't mind me saying.
No, absolutely.
Some people I feel like get a bit delusional to think that just because they're in a great seat or around great people, especially if they're doing the same area as you, that you're going to be able to do that as well. Some do. In your case, it didn't plan out like that. Maybe because there's kind of the big hitters there that are billing a lot, everything's in their name, company politics. But there's been a clear transition since you come over to Hyde that you've, quite frankly, smashed it out the park, earned a hell of a lot of money in such a short space of time. So what do you think is kind of the catalyst behind that?
Yeah, obviously I was with a really big company in Dubai. Never done real estate before, so it was a great platform to start. Don't have a bad word to say about anyone in there or what they've done for me. But again, the manager in the JG office was absolutely fantastic with me. Gave me every nugget of information, anything I wanted, he helped with. But I just felt a little bit stagnant. I was in a tough area. There was an agent in there she's brilliant. She smashed it as well. So it was kind of hard. I was feeding off scraps, you know. I knew myself that I was kind of at a level where you kind of put the added pressure on yourself. You see these huge figures going on with them guys constantly. You have to forget they're 8 to 10 to 15 years in the job. They know the job inside out. They've built relationships over years, which of course is probably the most important thing in the job. And then I just had a chat with you a few times, as you know, and I said, look, I'm kind of plateauing here. I don't want to kind of just stay just for the sake of this seat. And as you said, it is a really, really good seat. A lot of people will give the right arm for it. And then everyone thinks the grass is always greener, and I was trying to stick it because I don't want to quit, essentially, and trying to tell. But I knew from what was going on here that this is where I needed to be in regards to me personally progressing to where the money I needed to make and where I wanted to be as an agent. And it's obviously triggered massively. Could I ever dream of doing 1 million dirhams in 9 weeks? No, you probably couldn't either.
Yeah.
We've had a relationship from the start as soon as I came to Dubai. It's just, now that we're talking about it, it's kind of sank in now, to be honest with you, because I'm still working away, and even after whacking the 1 million on, I'm still trying to do another deal or two to close the month. So it's after opening up a lot of doors, and I pretty much changed my life after 9 weeks.
Yeah, so that's, I mean, for when you got that signed and you come into the office, obviously you had the biggest grin on your face, like anybody would. It was brilliant. For me, it was great to see. Obviously, we had a private chat. You said, thanks for everything, even though it's not really anything to do with us. We just provide a platform where, for people that don't know, obviously at kind of corporate companies, there's a lot of politics, there's so many people in your team, there's not enough ever kind of meat left on the bone for you to get at an area. Obviously, if the area is massive, it's huge, it's good to have a few people to bounce off. You've clearly not needed that. And you say it's a difficult area, you still do it now. You're doing Al-Barari and Victory Heights, dominating it, I would say. You've got a brilliant network of agents that you work with, not just in-house here, but externally. And you've built that trust yourself. So even though you kind of said thanks to us, it's all you, mate. And you thoroughly deserve it. You're one of the hardest workers in the room. You're always here late. You're there for anyone. So it's definitely all you. This is just a platform that you can kind of express yourself on, be the agent that you want to be, and not worry about any of the politics that comes with like a corporate structure. So that's great, brilliant. Obviously, you was a footballer before. I feel like, I haven't really ever touched on this, but I feel like footballers do well here because you've gone through a lot of heartache. It's not like kind of guaranteed. Some weeks you might be on the team sheet, some weeks you might not. You get injured. There's a lot of unexpected kind of obstacles that you've got to jump over. And I feel like it transitions really well into this job.
It's funny to say that because I've always, ever since I retired from football, I was thinking, what can I do? I can't see myself sitting in an office 9 to 5. I didn't want to get into the coaching side because I've been in football for so long. And then real estate came along, the idea, and I jumped at it because I needed something on my feet. But as you said, for me, it's you train Monday to Friday, whatever, like this job. You win a game on a Saturday or a Friday, or you lose the game, you have to bounce back Sunday and train and then back in again Monday. It's like, this job's the exact same thing. The deal falls through, right, where's the next one? You do a deal, where's the next one? So it's constantly evolving like football as well. So it's probably the perfect job for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Love, hate as well, which of course, we're honest people. It's the toughest job in the world, but obviously the rewards are massive. And if we deep it was the Irish League, the money wasn't fantastic, and I probably made more money in 9 weeks than I'd done in my career.
Yeah, that's insane, isn't it? A mental stat. And the thing is, you have to turn up every day. You have to be consistent. So football is a great kind of analogy, if that's the right word. It's super similar. You get injured, it's unexpected. You think you're going to get into the team, you've had a good performance, you don't. You might even get sacked from your position and have to go to a worse team. So it definitely transitions into this job. Consistency is number one, and it's what you do so well. And obviously, the day you broke $1 million in 9 weeks, you was on a high. Next day, boom, straight back on the phone, straight back to work. And I'm sure you're going to do another deal this month. You've got so much bubbling anyway. Leading on from that, how have you found it since joining here? I mean, it's very easy for me to say, Hyde's great. This is what we do. You've done them figures. But personally, how's your experience been?
Yeah, if there's anyone listening and they're on the fence of what I leave these big companies with, I just can't, I'm not saying it because you're there, but I cannot speak any more highly of it. One, the flexibility. I still come into the office anyway, as you know, still in every morning. But if I want to go out to Albury and work for 3 hours having a coffee, or go out and meet this client, I don't have to check in with you. I'm out working, and at the end of the day, you're your own boss. So if you're not doing the work, you're not billing. The marketing, the social media, everything's all in house, and we're all in it together. So I even put a message in the group after everyone's congratulating me on the million. I said, no, it's a team. It literally is everyone, from the guys going through the pictures for us, the video. Everyone's in it together. And I think and again, when people do big deals, not just my deals, but other people's deals, people are genuinely happy for each other. I think in other places, in the bigger places, there's always that kind of spitefulness, and not necessarily hatefulness, but like people do spite you when people do well. And it's like the fake smile, like, well done, mate. And then they're,
they don't actually mean it.
They deserve that, you know what I mean?
I'm with you.
And even in here with Dean doing whatever, 800 plus in 9 weeks, like phenomenal numbers. Like everyone genuinely buzzing for him. And I think that's the biggest, the culture in here is just, it's like a family. And again, it's cliche and it sounds like, oh yeah, he's full of crap, but that's genuinely how it is. It's like everyone's absolutely delighted for each other. And even yourself as the manager, doing Form Fs for me to approve them at 11 o'clock at night, and you're going to cinema with your young lad and you're doing my F, like, do you get that elsewhere? No. You're kind of left to yourself. You're one of 400 or 500 agents. You're just another chip in the game. But here you're actually relative. You know what I mean? Not just because I've done that money. Even if when I wasn't doing them figures, I still felt part of it and relative. And, people are going through a bad patch now, which will change in a month, will change in 2 months. I could go through a bad patch. But at the end of the day, there's a support system there for everyone, which I just love.
Yeah, I feel like that's important. And I feel like where I was a broker not long ago, not to blow my own trumpet, but my feet are on the ground. Like, I understand what's needed. And this job is so difficult anyway, as we all know. It's the worst job on the planet, but also the most rewarding. Because my feet are on the ground, I understand what we need. So everything from being available 24/7 to sending Form Fs out just for advice or anything like that, we're always available. And I feel like it's important. And if it gets to the stage where the company it grows and it's quite big, that a position will be filled. So there'll always be somebody available. And if they're a manager and on a salary, sometimes other experience that I've had, they might not be that available after hours. That will never happen here, because all I care about is if I make your job as easy as possible. Not saying it's an easy job, you've still got to put the work in, but the politics and the admin and that side of things, if that's easy, you can just 100% focus on being an agent. And I feel like that's what you've been able to do here, and it's clearly paid dividends.
Absolutely, and it lets me then build the relationships where all my time goes into me buyers and sellers. I don't have to worry about the other side of it. And for an agent that's, as you know all too well, that just makes the job so much easier. You know what I mean? I can spend an hour with people, I can spend 2 hours with people. And it's funny, everyone like, oh, why do you want to come to a different company? Most people say commissions, the commission structure better. I don't even think about the commission side of it. That's how much I enjoy it in the environment.
Yeah.
Like it's an extra 10% from where I was, and I'd be lucky enough now to do the 3 months in a row, I'm going up to 65%. When you actually deep it that way, it's another driving factor, which everyone is driven by finances, and I didn't even think about that side of it.
This is the thing, when you've done that deal that took you over the million, obviously you'd done the 3 months target already before that. So it's 120, 120, 120. So you'd already qualified for the extra 5% for the rest of the year. So you're now on a 65% commission split. I had to tell you, you were so happy with that deal and so involved in your actual day-to-day job. I was like, mate, blinding, well done. Just to let you know, that's on the 65% split. And you was like, I don't think you even realised, because you were just so focused. You know what I mean?
And that's true. And even the incentives, like the incentives here are unreal. And my missus said to me, "Oh, that's 2 nights in a row at Atlantis." I was like, "What? You're just so caught up in it." And I think that's the best part of it too. It's like the money's, don't get me wrong, the best part of the job. That's why you work your ass off 24/7. But you know, it's the whole package really.
And touching on that, obviously you qualified for 2 nights in the Royal Atlantis. You're 72k?
72k away. And a half, I know the exact
72
figure.
and a half away from the next level up, which is 600k a month. You'll get a Rolex, brand new Rolex.
Yeah.
That's what I want you to hear.
No pressure.
I know Demi probably wants the 2 night stay in the Royal Atlantis, but we want to go watch shopping. So fingers crossed, mate.
And again, that's another. All my mates that were footballers in England, that they'd always have the Rolex and always, and then for me to even be in that conversation and that environment is another great thing. Like I was chatting to the boys at home, like, you were a Rolex, you know what I mean? Don't even know how to step, but it's just another, not just this 9 weeks, but ever since the move, what it's opened for me, not just financially, but as a person as well, and feel happier in myself, engaged now to the missus and all. I think everything's just kind of.
Yeah, I can see that. Since you come over, you're a good lad anyway. Do you know what I mean? You've got a great character, great energy about you. Everybody loves you here. But as the months have gone by, I feel like you've really started to come into your own. You walk in, your head's held high. You're there not just to help yourself. Anybody in here asks you a question, you're there helping them, which is brilliant, and it's a good characteristic to have. So I feel like your confidence is getting even bigger. I feel like you feel like you're walking on cloud 9 at the moment, like that. You're really starting to, and it does take time, because obviously you're used to working a certain way, which again, not saying is the wrong way. It just doesn't work for some people. Yeah. Now you've come over here and you're really starting to work how I think an agent needs to work to really grow their network, get over that level to start building some really, really good figures, which is a byproduct of helping your clients properly. You need to be the yes person. If your client wants this, yes, I can do it. And that's what we kind of implement here. And I feel like it takes time to get used to that and used to the freedom, but you're really starting to get into your stride now. And I feel like it's only the beginning of the year. I'm excited to see what you're going to finish on, because again, you don't focus on the commission, you focus on doing your job and doing it well. And with this freedom and like the chains unleashed, so to speak, sky's the limit.
That's nail on the head. It's like some of them deals I'd done came directly from an Albury inquiry that we kept in contact with. I met them for probably 4 coffees, not even talking about business, just getting to know each other, blah, blah. Got a text on Tuesday morning, look, I need an apartment off plan, I want to do it directly through you. Went down to sales centre on Wednesday, we closed on the Friday. Then got another text saying my friend now wants one. So again, we're back to the relationships. I've been having that flexibility in Hyde to build these relationships. But again, people aren't silly. They know people's characters. They can see through all the crap and what comes with this job. Or 95% of people. Yeah. You know, it's a lot of plastic and fake. And where if you're genuine people, like everyone in here, that's why another reason why I love it. There's no fakeness. There's no what you see is what you get with everyone. You know, whether it's good, bad, and ugly. And I think that's the most important part of this job, especially in real estate.
Yeah.
And even when you get in front of people and meet people, they're like, you don't seem like a real estate agent. I said, I don't really want to call myself a real estate agent because I get tarnished with the same brush as everyone else.
Yeah.
Which is a negative spin on it. But again, it's just be your authentic self. Not everyone's going to love you. Not everyone's going to like you, but people respect you if you're yourself.
Yeah, 100%. And that's touching on that point. For my main job at the moment, obviously with Lottie, is we need to keep our guard up of who we kind of let in here. We didn't open just to fill the seats up. We could have filled it up. I mean, you see the amount of interviews that come in. We could have filled it up 3-4 times. We're just so super selective on who we bring in, because exactly what you just said, that's on my shoulders. I need to make sure that we build the right team, as in the right people, the right characteristics, the right personality, honest, trustworthy, hardworking. Everything else after that comes. Yeah. If somebody isn't billing too much, well, not saying it like yourself, you still tick all them boxes. As long as you keep turning up every day and you're consistent and you are a good person, with our platform, your network will grow and the figures will come. Yeah. So it's a byproduct. And I feel like what clients can see from our agents is confidence, because they know they are fully backed by us, and however flexible we need to be, not giving away commission, but as in sometimes deals aren't as straightforward as everybody thinks. Sometimes you might have to get a few other agents involved to get a deal done, like one of yours recently. But because everybody knows Hyde is trustworthy, other agencies are happy to do that and work together. And I feel like that's why you're coming into your own now and you've really, really pushed on. Yeah. And to also touch on personal life, because everything's not always about business.
She reminds me of that all the time.
Demi, yeah. So obviously you have Demi, your fiance, who's lovely. For people that don't know, she definitely wears the trousers.
Everyone knows that.
What is your plans for the future? Have you got any personal goals this year?
Yeah, so we got engaged last November. We're going to get married next June. I think we've after hurrying that up a little bit because I've done so well in the last 9 weeks. Yeah. But we're together 4 or 5 years. 5 years, I think. But yeah, she's good as gold. So we're going to get married in Spain in June, I think. But again, goes back to it. This is now after opening up all these conversations and good conversations, or where we want to have our dream wedding and what we want to do. You know, I got myself a nice car last year, and again, I'm never one for all these big, flashy, fancy things. But it does feel nice that you're actually able. You have the financial freedom now to do that stuff. Where, for being honest, I never really had it. You know, where I was always kind of watching the pockets and stuff like that. So, yeah, in 9 weeks, it's just been... That's the thing, is
everybody comes over here for the Dubai dream. Yeah. It's not really the American dream now. It is genuinely the Dubai dream. And people get sold a lot of lies, which is unfortunate, but it's part and parcel of it. Unfortunately, you can't control what everybody else does. We can just focus on what we're doing. I'm one of these people that is just brutally honest and straight down the line, because I believe anything but that doesn't help anyone. Yeah. But it's nice to see firsthand somebody that has bought into that Dubai dream, started okay, but then now you're really going up to that next level and that next chapter where the type of money that you've earned, people, which is 150,000 sterling in your pocket, something like that. In 9 weeks, tax-free, people would dream to earn that in a year. Yeah. Even before tax. If you're in the UK and you're on £130,000 a year salary, and then you're getting taxed on that, it's still deemed as a really good job that people work 20 years to get to. And you've just managed to do that in 9 weeks, net, tax-free, in your pocket. It's just insane. And it's what we're all here for. So to be able to see it firsthand is just incredible. So I don't know how it makes you feel, apart from the grin on your face.
Yeah, also, when you're talking about it, again, I haven't really deeped it or thought about it too much, because I'm trying to get the next one. But Demi's after saying, you said, look, you just need to sit back now for a little bit, just for a couple of days, and just reflect on as a couple and as myself, for she's got the same work ethic as me. But anyone listening that are thinking about doing it and stuff, look you right in the eye now. It's the most craziest job in the world, 24/7, the hardest job you'll ever do. If you're not prepared to graft 7 days, if you think them over, Monday to Friday I'll work, no problem. But Saturday, Sunday the phone's off, no chance. You'd be gone home in 3 months, 4 months. You have to put in the hours. And longevity, like I'm starting to get these messages off recurring clients now because I've been here a couple of years, where I've built that relationship and trust. Stick with it. It's like, I could have thrown in the towel coming into December. It's so falling through, and everyone has them sob stories that we were close to these big deals, blah, blah. Yeah, it happened, so what? It happened to you, it happened to everyone. But I stuck with it. And then it's in the space of literally 3 weeks from selling that first in February to 6 or 7 down, 9 weeks down the line. It was just, so anyone that is listening, even ask me or you, it's a crazy, crazy job, but as you can see, financially, and it's life-changing.
Brilliant. So to finish, what is your number one goal this year, personally and business related?
Personally, I'd like to buy my own property, a little off-plan unit, just to get me on the property ladder over here. And then business-wise, I don't think we've announced it yet, but I'm going to be building my own little team. Very select few agents, but have to be like-minded individuals, have to fit the company demographic. And at the end of the day, we want to all make as much money as possible.
Brilliant. Sounds good. So thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed everything with Stephen. If you've got any questions that you'd like to ask me or Stephen, we'll put our details in the caption below. And on that bombshell, it hasn't been announced yet, but Stephen is going to be building his own team. So if anybody's interested, you know where to see him. Thanks for watching.